welcome to Warren's Podcast. My name is Hee-Jae, your host, and this is episode 8. He hardened his heart. Why? I am interested in many things. Well, I am interested in motives. Maybe it's because I have struggled with my motives for a long time. So when it comes to God, I am very interested in His motives. And so when I look in the Bible, when I see what God has done, I am really intrigued in the reason behind some of the things that He says. For instance, why would He tell Moses that the heart of Pharaoh and his officials will be hardened? Because if you look at the whole scripture, the way it plays out, He does not have to say it. All those mention of God hardening Pharaoh and his officials' heart, you can take all of it, grab it, and yank it all out, and the story as we know it will still make sense. But why did God say it for Moses and Aaron? These things interest me. The main reason God told Moses that He himself will harden Pharaoh's heart was for Moses. When you think about it, regardless of what God does, Pharaoh from the beginning had no intention of letting the Israelites go. The economy of the Egyptian empire rested on the labor of the Israelites. He had no intention of letting these people go. In retrospect, when you read the passage, God had hardened Pharaoh's heart, and you read it again and 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 again. After every single miracle, it seems like there was a chance that Pharaoh would have let the Israelites go. But God intervened and said, "No, you will not let my people go until you guys have suffered more." He held the Egyptians under tremendous torture and pain in order for him to prove something. But that's not how God works. So regardless of God hardening his heart, there was no way that Pharaoh was going to let these people go easily, if not at all. So, in order for the Israelites to get out of this circumstance, God had to perform miracles, but it didn't take one, it didn't take two, it didn't take three. It took a series of miracles over many months, probably 2 months, because it's not specifically said in the Bible, but it seems like there was about a week in between each miracles. So it would have taken over 2 months of miracles, of petitioning, of meeting this world leader. So what happens is, after months of confronting a world leader, a powerful person, he has to force him to do something that is really, really detrimental to their country. If you take away this message, what it is Moses on his own going to Pharaoh and failing it every time. The Bible does not say, God did not tell Moses what he was going to be doing at every single turn of the road. He didn't say that, oh, I'm going to have X amount of miracles until Pharaoh changes his mind. The last miracle is going to be the 5th or the 10th or the 100th. Moses did not know how many miracles God had planned. So by God saying, I have hardened Pharaoh's heart. At every juncture where he meets resistance from Pharaoh, where he fails to convince Pharaoh with the awesome miracles that God is performing through him, he's saying God had hardened Pharaoh's heart. So this is still not a failure. I do not have to despair. This is not a setback. This is all within the plan. I don't know exactly what it is, but God told me he will do this. So this is still within God's realm of control. That's what God was doing for Moses, so that he would not be discouraged. And in chapter 10 verse 1, he again comes to Moses and says, I have hardened Pharaoh's heart, because he needed that encouragement again. So afterwards, when Moses is writing this book, he's going back and he's writing down God had hardened Pharaoh's heart, because God did not come after every setback and say, I have hardened Pharaoh's heart. No, he didn't. He said it twice. But Moses is remembering what God has said, and he is taking heart because of the fact that everything is still within God's plan. So, the main reason why God told Moses in the beginning that he will harden Pharaoh's heart is because he knew beforehand Pharaoh will not let the Israelites go. So he wanted to say that first, so that when Moses faces Pharaoh's resistance to God's will, even after seeing all those miracles over and over and over again, he wanted Moses not to be discouraged, saying even that is within the realm of God's will. He's still in control. What does this event in our past, echoing through the Bible, telling us today? What is the message that you and I have that we must hold on to in order for us to be able to go forward in our everyday lives? What message, what word, what scripture, what signs have we carved within our hearts, so that at every juncture of discouragement we could pull it out and say, God is still with me. It's still within God's plan. Everything is done with God's knowledge. And with that, I hope that we grow together through these vlogs, and every moment a step closer to God. Thank you.